The Galactic Council had a saying, "Mercy is the luxury of the strong, and the death of the weak." For 10,000 years, this principle governed every spacefaring civilization. The strong conquered. The weak perished. There was no third option. Until humanity arrived. 0:30 to 2 o'clock, setup. Dr. Sarah Chen knew she was going to die. The Korthax battle cruiser had torn through the medical frigate Hope's Reach like paper, and now she hung suspended in an energy field, her white medical uniform stained with blood, some human, some not. Commander Vrecht circled her slowly, his 6 legs clicking against the metal floor. His carapace gleamed black under the harsh lights, and his compound eyes reflected her image 1,000 times over. "You are the healer," he stated, his mandibles clicking. "Your ship carried no weapons. Only the wounded." "That's what hospital ships do," Sarah replied, meeting his gaze despite the fear coursing through her veins. Vrechtha's head tilted, a gesture she'd learned meant confusion in his species. "Explain. Why does your species waste resources on the damaged? The broken are simply discarded. This is the way of all civilized species." Sarah felt her stomach turn. "Not all species." 2 to 4 o'clock, the demonstration. Vrecht gestured with one of his bladed appendages. "You will prove your skills. We have a subject." The guards dragged something into the chamber. No, someone. A Korthax soldier, his carapace cracked and leaking blue ichor, one leg completely severed. He was barely conscious, his breathing ragged. "This warrior failed in battle," Vrecht explained. "He allowed a human fighter to escape. By our law, he has earned death. But you will repair him." Sarah stared. "And then you'll kill him anyway." "Of course. But we wish to see if human medicine is as advanced as intelligence suggests. Prove your worth, and perhaps you will live long enough to serve the Empire." Sarah looked at the dying soldier. Every instinct screamed at her to refuse, to deny these monsters her help. But then she saw it, the soldier's eyes, all 8 of them, focused on her. And in them, she saw something she recognized from 1,000 emergency rooms across human space. Fear. Pain. The desperate, universal plea, "Help me. I'll need my medical kit," she said quietly. "And remove these restraints." 4 to 6:30, the procedure. For the next hour, Sarah worked. She sealed the ichor leak using biofoam. Thank God Korthax biochemistry was silicon-based and responded to human coagulants. She stabilized the cracked carapace with polymer reinforcement. She even managed to attach a temporary prosthetic interface to the severed leg joint. Through it all, Vrecht watched in silence. The soldier, Sarah learned his designation was Thek 7829, never cried out, but she saw the gratitude in his eyes as the pain ebbed. She found herself talking to him, the way she did with all her patients. "Almost done. You're doing great. The pain will fade soon, I promise." When she finally stepped back, Thek 7829 was stable, conscious, and staring at her with something approaching wonder. Vrecht clicked forward. "Impressive. Your skills are adequate." He raised his weapon toward the soldier. "His execution will now proceed." "No." Sarah stepped between them. The entire room went silent. "Explain yourself, human," Vrecht said, his voice dangerously soft. "I saved his life. That means something. It means he will die intact rather than broken. You should be pleased, you have granted him a cleaner death. I didn't save him so you could kill him." Sarah's voice rose. "I saved him because that's what doctors do. We preserve life. We don't just fix things so you can break them again. Your emotional attachment to biological function is irrational," Vrecht observed. "He failed. He dies. This is law." Sarah's mind raced. She thought of the Hippocratic Oath, of every late-night shift, every patient she'd lost, every patient she'd saved. She thought of what it meant to be human. "Then let me take his place," she said. 6:30 to 8:30, the challenge. The Korthax chamber erupted in clicking, their version of shocked conversation. Vrektha's eyes fixed on her. "You would die for this stranger? This enemy soldier who would kill you without hesitation?" "Yes." "Why?" Sarah met his gaze. "Because that's what mercy means. It means choosing compassion even when it costs you. Especially when it costs you." "You asked what makes humans different. This is what makes us human." For a long moment, Vrecht simply stared at her. Then he made a gesture Sarah didn't recognize, and the guards lowered their weapons. "I have studied 847 species," Vrecht said slowly. "I have conquered 23 civilizations. I have seen species that could breathe fire, that could survive in the void of space, that could compute faster than our best machines. But I have never seen this. Never seen a being willingly choose death for an enemy." He turned to Thek, 7829. "You have been shown mercy by an inferior species. How does this make you feel?" The soldier was silent for a moment. Then, in a voice barely above a whisper, "Ashamed, Commander. Ashamed that we do not know this, mercy." Vrektha's mandibles clicked in a pattern Sarah would later learn meant deep contemplation. "The human will not be executed," he announced. "Neither will Thek, 7829. Instead, they will both be brought before the High Command. The Council will decide if this mercy is strength or weakness." 8:30 to 10 o'clock, Epilogue. 3 months later, Sarah stood before the Galactic Council. She had expected a trial. Instead, she found herself at the center of the greatest philosophical debate in galactic history. Species from across the stars argued about the Mercy Protocol, humanity's proposed amendment to galactic law. The right to compassion. The right to heal even enemies. The right to choose mercy over vengeance. It passed by a single vote. Years later, when asked about that day on the Korthax ship, Sarah would smile and say the same thing. "Everyone told me that mercy was weakness. That in the darkness of space, only the ruthless survive. But I knew something they didn't." "What was that?" they would ask. "That the measure of a civilization isn't how it treats its strong, but how it treats its weak. And on that day, I showed them that humans measure very tall indeed. Because in a galaxy of predators, humanity taught the stars a simple truth. True strength isn't the ability to destroy. It's the courage to heal." End screen. This has been a production of Your Channel Name. If you enjoyed this HFY story, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Check out our other humanity-focused science fiction stories in the playlist below. Remember, in a universe of darkness, be the light.